Kams audio son. You burn this swine when I want you shine. The tree of life, them I want you climb, cause them heart no kind. Kams, I say them heart no kind. Buxton Massive, Kidaki, Red Hat.
Never joke, never joke, never joke. Oh, money never, money never, money never, money not know what you can even money. Money never, money never, money. You can keep, you can even money. When you been a corrupt you have been tell me money. Now because your money done, you come with conniving money. When you had your pocket full, you have been tell me money. Now because your money done, you hustle for tell me money. Yes, money never, money never, money never, money not know what you conniving money. Neighbor joker, neighbor joker, neighbor joker. That's all the money that me walk for. A 2 pound note and a guilda piece. A 2 pound note and a guilda piece. A 2 pound note and a guilda piece. That's all the money that me walk for. I said money never, money never, money never, money not know what you can have in money. Oh, Joseph.
Well, I invoke the WPA's position that we are engaging in civil disobedience and non-cooperation with the government, and on that grounds I refuse to participate in the interview. The question in struggle, is not personal. Whatever sacrifice as a political activist or a political leader you have to make for your people, you have to make it.
Guyana and Guyanese, at home and abroad. Tune in to Guyanese Morning Time, hosted by Kadaki Amsterdam, where the sun always shines. Guyanese Morning Time, the people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. We rise up early morning watching Kams TV, where wisdom and knowledge, yes, it is the key. Exposing corruptions over land and sea, where the wicked politicians, they try to trick me. Guyana is a land for everybody. With 6 races should live in harmony. Is one set of people getting oil money. is one set of people doing the tea for repeat. Guyanese morning time, the people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. This is a program that you all can see. Sharing your views and your integrity. Like it, comment and share it all around. Pass it to your neighbor, safe and sound. A sad situation going on in this town. The voice of the people is getting trampled down. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, which has ordained me to sing. I sing Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, fooling the people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. Stop fooling people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. I say Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. They got Brickford, Bork and Mark Benchcop. David Hines and Kadaki Amsterdam. Sherrod Duncan, Nigel London. Normal Brown and Gavin Matthews. Big up Paslow, Port People Governor. Simona Brooms, Robin Simpson. Hampton Green and Winston Jordan. And yes, we can go right on and on. Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again.
The relatives and friends of young Wyndham Bacchus, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of our in Boston, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of Peter Headley, they deserve justice.
And so when we say that Guyana is an apartheid state, we have the evidence to show.
It's soiree. Remember, I'm telling some vibes. Make your way up to Burmese for the season.
Hey, friends and family. The People's Economic Development Society presents a bus ride. A ride from Mocha to Belgium on September 30th. Departure time from Mocha is 6 a.m. Farmers and entrepreneurs will interact. Market day exposition, domino competition, raffle drawing. Be part of it all. Contact us on 678-1269 or 646-4490, 686-9899. Let's take a bus ride from Mocha to Belgium. Tickets cost only $5,000. Be part of the attractions and activities, market day, domino competition, raffle drawing, and lots of fun. It's the People's Economic Development Society bus ride on September 30th, 2023. Come, let's go!
You put in a 12 cents meatball, you was gonna lice. I going to give you a word of advice. Check your meat out of my eyes.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T&W Harris Butcher Shop, located in the East Remvelt Market Meat section. Call us on 609-2049. Ask for Rastaman. T&W Harris Butcher Shop brings you the best in fresh cut meats and lots more. Like I'm saying, when we talk about Creole food, it's not just Creole food, it's exceptional Creole food, it's granny style cooking. Listen, and the reference there was to the Metem. In fact, another Metem lover told me, listen, morning neighbor, morning, how you morning, how are you do? Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. It is 7 hours 27 on the 19th day of September in the year 2023. Yes, 7 hours 27 on the 19th of September in the year 2023. Welcome to the program. How you been? How was you yesterday? How was you today? How was you last night? How you spend your night? Did you rest and recuperate? How are you feeling? Did you make some money? Did you make some money? Well, I hope you did, because money makes the world go round. Oh lad, it's long I not so one of them feelings is. Yeah, money makes the world go round. And in saying that, I will get there, Justin. I will get there. I hope I will get there. I hope I remember to give you this laugh. How I see things, eh? Yes, I hope you were able to achieve some set goals yesterday. I know the teachers union had set a goal to go out yesterday in front of the Ministry of the RDC Region 4 office, where the Regional Education Office is situated, to raise their concerns about this union busting strategy of the Ministry of Education, in that they just unilaterally decide that they are going to do this and they're going to do that and they're going to do the others. But I can't recall passing on the road there and seeing any protest in front of Triumph. Or was it that the teachers were supposed to just stay home, sick out or sit out the day? But I inquired, and not a lot of teachers were absent from the job yesterday. As a matter of fact, I inquired, and some teachers told me, Mr. Amsterdam, we don't even know what's going on, because we don't have a clear idea of what the plan of the of the union is. That is an indictment. It is an indictment. I'm not here to bust the balls of union leaders or bust union leaders or bust unions. I'm simply here to say that, you know, these leaders are failing. And if they're failing, they must go. Some good part of the Bible say, or some part of the Bible say, the purpose of salt is to flavor the earth. And when salt has lost its saltiness, obviously it can no longer flavor the earth, and so it must be thrown out and trampled upon. When you have some union leaders who are ineffective, disorganized, sometimes I believe they're willingly disorganized, they're tactically disorganized, it simply says that the time has come for them to go. Because here what happened? It's a familiarity breeds bugs. And I believe that some people, when they sit in office for too long, they become too comfortable. And with that comfort comes lethargy. With that comfort comes disdain. With that comfort comes the attitude of don't give a damn. I'm indisposable. They can't do without me. You see, it's 40 years I lead in this union. I know everything about unionism in this country. I know all the thing about the public service and the negotiations. They can't do without me. And that is all they sit there and do. They sit and boast on their past achievements. But they reach a time when they don't have the energy to fight the fight. They have not changed with the times, and so they don't have the modern day approach to fight the modern day battles. And so that is why it's necessary that every now and again we take a step back, we look at leadership and we say time for a change. I think PNC or somebody had a slogan like that years ago for an election campaign, time for change. Was it Alliance to Change? I think so, possibly. Good. But you step back and you look and you say, no, time for change. Because I'm not feeling these leaders anymore. They've lost the zeal, the zest, the commitment. Because they've gone to a place of comfort. They, through their positions, have been able to rub shoulders with everybody in the powers of in the corridors of power. And so they have become familiar with these people. They're friendly. I'm not saying as a leader, political or labor or business, you have to be enemies with your opponents. We can have cordial relations, but when we come to business, it's business. But when we look across this society, We see the head of the Ethnic Relations Committee in bed with the government. We see the head of religious organizations, or if I call it the religious sectors, we see all of the religious leaders. Well, I am trying to phrase that the correct way. We see leaders in all of the religions in bed with the government. Civil society. All the heads of, or most of the heads of civil society organizations in bed with the PPP. And someone asks the question, how then do we get social justice? How then do we get economic justice? How then do we get justice from the courts? When all roads lead to Freedom House. How do you do that? By starting to knock heads. By starting to knock heads. How do you knock heads? Change your leadership. Power resides with the people. There's a one thing politicians and so on should not be able to take away from people. People's power. They can do it as far as people allow them to. As far as people want to throw their hands up in the air and say, I ain't able no more, I tired. Then you're simply giving them victory. You're allowing them to do as they will. Sometimes that's the impression I get when I look at the public sector and I look at, you know, organized labor or disorganized labor, whichever one you want to term it. But I'm reminding you this morning that that power lies with you. Ever so often I think back to when the Guyana Teachers Union had their Congress or whatever they call it, what, about 2 years ago? It's biennial, I think they do. Every 2 years they have elections or something. I can't remember the exact structure. But I remember when they had that elections and everybody was swearing to God that Mark Light was a goner. Because he had a strong team in Vanessa Kissoon representing Linden and Coretta McDonald, and he had a strong team, might have been an all-woman team for all you remember, that was swearing to remove Mark Light and other friends of the PPP. But when the results came out, many of us were hushed, disappointed. Right? Because teachers failed to remove Mark Light, who we know is a friend and crony of the PPP. He was accepted a scholarship from the government that he's supposed to be representing his union members against. And so who pays the piper calls the tune. Hush money we call it. When they take it over the table, under the table, hush money. And I know several other union leaders who got themselves in that nonsense. Some of them in the private sector, others in the public sector. When I spoke to some teachers after that elections, you know what a lot of them told me? They weren't sure of the procedure. They didn't partake. They didn't check to ensure that their name was there as eligible voters prior to the elections. They chose not to partake because the union does nothing for anybody. But that's the wrong approach. If you know that the union does nothing for anybody, then you must be determined in your spirit that union leadership must change. That is where you go hard at the union leadership, because they ain't doing anything for you. You get rid of them, and you put people who are likely to make the union do something for you. But we got a strange way of looking at things in Guyana. When things don't go our way in Guyana, we just throw back and say, I done with them, here with them. I refuse to fight anymore. But there's a degree of dishonesty. Well, degree. I think there's a degree of dishonesty in this society. Both from leaders and the people they represent. There's a question I want to ask this morning, and those who are on the live and in the public service, y'all help me to understand. Emoluments. Were the emoluments of public servants increased recently? Huh? Because here it is. Jagdiot said that let me use allege because I don't have the exact words. That there was $37 billion as increment paid to public servants. Does anybody know about that? Winston Jordan, I know you follow the economic sector and so on and so forth. I hope you still got contacts in finance. If you're listening to this program, did you hear about the $37 billion paid out to public servants as increment? I understand the money was used to pay increment for pensioners, part-time employees, etc., etc. Is anybody aware of that? Because my thing is, many of us are out there daily criticizing the government, talking about and giving public servants increases and so on and so forth. And Jagdio is talking about giving increments to the value of $37 billion. And I haven't heard any public servant come out and challenge that. So the question I'm asking this morning, is Jagdio right? Is he being truthful? Who got this money? Where did this money go? I'm asking. Where did the money go? Who got it? I didn't hear any declaration from the Public Service Union. Is Udo Patrick Yard still alive? He had a little gang with you. They still together? I haven't heard any declarations from them. So, are our public servants allowing the government to pay them under the table and stay quiet? And so strategically, quietly, the PPP is getting rid of unions. Huh? Is that what's happening? And the people who you think you're standing up for are part of this scam? I want to know. Tell us about these increments. Who knows? When I just said don't use truthful and Jack doing the same statement. But Nobody has challenged what Jaguar said. And that's my point. If it's not accurate, if it's not truthful, why has nobody challenged it in the open? Say, Jaguar, you lie bad, man. What nonsense you telling people? You ain't paying nobody ain't get no increment. It can't be the projected $35 on pensions in another 2 years. It can't be that. Because this money is listed as being paid, 37 billion. Is that what I said? Where did the money go? Is the union working quietly with the government? And so that the rest of the society doesn't know what is going on until it's too late? These are things I want to know. I'm not sure, I just want to know. Let's investigate these things because I would like to know. I seriously would like to know. You see, because a lot of us fall for what we call fair promises. And then they don't materialize. And because we shame that we made these deals quietly under the table, we don't make a lot of noise about it when it doesn't materialize. And that is why I always advise, don't negotiate quietly with the PPP. Okay? Don't negotiate quietly with the PPP. You have to be in the open with them. I see Christopher Ramos taking them to court for a plot of land that they compulsorily acquired for the landing of the gas to what do they call it? Gas to shore project pipeline. He's suing the government of Ghana for 100 million for 2 acres of land. Kudos to Christopher Ram. I think he has done the right thing. But the question is asked, how many other citizens in this country have had their lands taken away by the government of Ghana, paid little or no compensation, bullied off of their lands, are still awaiting compensation, but can't afford to take the government to court? See, the PPP is a gambling government. They take their chances. And for as much as leadership fails to find the strategies to address them, to stand in defense of the people, they will succeed. And when they succeed, people get the impression that there's no option. There's nothing that they can do to stop the PPP. I think the people at Mocha eventually went to court for their lands. The people at Peters Hall, last I heard, were complaining of flooding because there were deliberate acts of sabotage in the area to flood them out. Because government is supposed to move them, I think 21 households or 21 plots of land they want to acquire. And a lot of the people are resistant to moving. They say they want to acquire because that's where the New Demerara Harbor Bridge will land. But they're offering the people some indecent sums of money, 10 and 15 and $20 million. And so the people have been resistant. And recently I learned that all kinds of spiteful things, as we call it in Ghana, was being done. Flooding them out and so on and so forth. But those people can't afford to go to court because they're poor, ordinary Guyanese, working class Guyanese. Right? Has anybody stepped up to represent them in court? Class action suit? No. So it shows in this country, if you're the moneyed class, if you have access to money, you got rights. You can take people to court. And in many instances, because the government is callous in its behavior, you're likely to win. You are likely to win. And so money gets money, but the poor man suffers. I just had a thought. Is it possible that the government of Guyana creates these situations so rich people can get richer? Because if the government were to come straight off and say we will pay Christopher Ram $100 million to this 2 acres piece of land for the landing of the pipe, Guyanese gonna bawl and say, oh God, because you look like them. And look what they do, them people in Mocha and them people at Pleasant, they ain't give them nothing, or they barely give them a $10 million. And so is the deal. We will create a situation, you take us to court, we will pay. Is that far-fetched? Is it conspiratorial in my thinking? We must investigate that as a possibility. We seriously must investigate that as a possibility. Good. Those are some of the things that crossed my mind this morning. I laughed early and I said, why so early? The lines ain't open yet, you know, but are you calling for the program? Did I say Christopher Ram? Sorry if I did. Christopher Ram is a lawyer. Christopher Ram is a liar, sorry. Thank you. Alright, so that was a point of correction. And my apologies if I said Christopher Ram is taking the, well, technicality, yeah? Christopher Ram, as I recall, is a lawyer for Steve Surge Bally. Right? Chris Ram is a lawyer for Steve Surge Bally, according to my understanding. So it is Steve Surge Bally has retained the services of Christopher Ram as an attorney to take the government to court. Right? Good. So sometimes we have to think outside of the box, like I said. It is well known, maybe the best kept known secret in this country, that when the PPP wants to bribe or buy votes from the sugar workers, they tell Gawu to call a strike and demand more money. Because again, if they just go there and give them money, then everybody else is going to ask for their share. So we can't do it like that. Y'all strike and in 48 hours we can pay y'all some money. I think it's a culture of collusion in this society on the part of the government and their cohorts. Good. We have to dig deep and find all of these underground dealings that are taking place. Because they are taking place. But we are still sitting back and waiting for honest government. When we see the evidence, look at the ExxonMobil expense claim. Imagine people are trying to deceive the public by declaring a smaller number knowing very well that it was way above that ExxonMobil was claiming, and the PPP made no effort whatsoever to verify it. When you watch your politicians fighting on behalf of a corporation to ensure that the corporation continues to enjoy benefits that the citizens are saying ought not to be enjoying, it is time to change your politicians. It's time to get rid of them. It is time to get rid of them. Because you know they're not batting on your side. And the safest conclusion to come to is that they are on the pay. They are on the pay of that corporation. In this instance, ExxonMobil. Why is the PPP and others fighting, the PPP and their friends fighting to ensure Exxon enjoys the things that they enjoy that Guyanese are against? Because they don't take the pay. And they're on some underground payroll to ensure that these things happen. And so if they were to make noise, the possibility is their pay will get cut. The support for the wickedness in government will disappear. The funding of their nasty campaigns will disappear. And so, no. We can't afford that. We have to stay in bed with Exxon and we have to do nastiness to the Guyanese people. And continue to allow Exxon to fetch the resources away. Richest country in the world per capita because of oil production. And it has other resources, but do you know that the gold declarations have dropped over the last 2 years? Do you know that? By some 20-something%? Yeah, the gold declarations have dropped. No, we didn't say gold production has dropped. We're saying gold declaration has dropped. So somebody is exporting or hoarding our gold without passing it through the necessary channels so that we can get our royalty. The government isn't telling you that. They don't want to tell you that. But while all of this is happening, mental health is getting worse in the country. Sharma usually used to say they got more outside than in. And so the evidence is there. Over the last couple of weeks, how many suicides we had? How many people just lose their temper and disfigure each other and so on? Have you checked to see if domestic violence is on the increase? Because the economic pressures certainly are direct contributors to those things. And so you got young people committing suicide. 36-year-old pharmacist is not a Dunstone, let's say. Is not an unemployed person, let's say. It's a pharmacist, a professional. And whatever it was, the only way she saw out of it was to take her life and leave a 50-year-old child behind. Are we stopping to think that something is wrong in our society when over the last, or something is wrong? Let me be a little more specific here. Because while suicide and so on has been taking place around the country, I noticed that on that East Bank corridor, over the last year or so, you must have had a minimum of 4 suicides. And one of the funny things is, to some extent, I think they were all associated to African Guyanese communities. So I'm asking this question. Because we know traditionally black people don't commit suicide. The history shows that black people in this country are the least to commit suicide. They like life bad no matter how it's sour. As we like to say, life is like the Demerara sugar. It's grumsy, but it's sweet. But over the last 2 years or so, we have had at least 4 suicides on that East Bank corridor. For the greater part, African Guyanese. Caller, are you calling for the program? Could you hold the line, please? Good. Yes. No. Caller, hold the line. I'll talk with you just now. I need to complete what I'm saying. So when you look at the fact that Afro-Guyanese along the East Bank corridor are committing suicide more frequently than in a past time, the social scientists must start to wonder, why is it this is happening? Is there a correlation between the harsh economic circumstances that Afro-Guyanese are made to face? Is there a correlation between the destruction of businesses and properties and homes and so on in Mocha? We must investigate that. Because I'm telling you that those actions have long-lasting psychological impact on individuals. So let's start to investigate that. And don't just look at it as them young people killing themselves or so. Call A Live, good morning. Thank you for holding.
Yeah, I was listening to the bench cup program last night where the young lady sent a message, the same young lady from Mocha sent a message to bench cup looking for help. She said that Azruddin Mohammed killed her brother, driving in an accident, killed her brother, and the police covered the matter up. So she couldn't take it anymore, she just stripped out. You check the bench cup program last and you see it, where you send a message to bench cup. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for that. So this guy is saying that it's depression. Young ladies' death might be associated to depression brought on by the alleged murder of her brother, vehicular murder. Well, did he say by accident? I can't remember. But that brings to the fore another thing. Lots of our people are depressed. Because why? They went through traumatic circumstances and the state doesn't find the time to provide resources, to provide counseling for them. What's the Ministry of Social Services for? A family loses a loved one by some tragic circumstance, and all you do, you hear about it in the news. Some politician might visit, dependent on if it is in his constituency or area, and commiserate for 2 minutes, and that's the end of it. The family is left to deal with that grief alone. No grief counseling, nothing at all from the society. And the dead is buried and everybody tell themselves that everything is okay. And 2 years, 3 years down the line, some family member decides this is too much, I can't bear it no more. Because our society, our government, our institutions are not functioning. Because in many instances, the people we put to head these institutions really and truly don't know the head from the tail when it comes to the matters they should be dealing with in those ministries and other agencies of the state. How does a child, a primary age child, go to school on a daily basis showing signs of abuse of some sort or other, and the Ministry of Education or Social Services doesn't get involved to investigate what is happening that has this child acting out in this manner, and so that they can take the necessary corrective measures? How? Because the departments of the agencies of state are not functioning. Check across this country and you will find there is not a single social worker in a school. Teachers are expected to observe children and make reports. And you know, in this society there is no confidentiality. And so when a teacher makes a report, the world knows that this is the teacher who reported it. And then all guns are pointed at that teacher. Whereas if the agencies were functioning, they would have had their social workers at the schools, interviewing children, finding out what is happening, and then taking the necessary corrective actions. But nothing, Anna. All we're concerned with is giving one contractor 10 contracts, knowing very well they don't have the capacity, and the residents must suffer while they nitpick at getting those contracts done. Why? Because the minister responsible for those contracts is only concerned about the kickbacks he will get, or profits, because in many instances a lot of these agencies, these contractors, are simply employees of some big minister. We have to recognize that power lies with the people, and until such time we can continue sucking salt. Call it life.
Yeah, bless good morning to you, Mr. Kadaki. Mr. Kadaki, and a blessed good morning to your station. Mr. Kadaki, I tell you are a priceless goods in this country, my brother. You are very priceless. Those things that you are speaking is exactly the fact. There's no debate against it. There's no discussion. Nobody can do to disapprove what you're saying is not the fact. It is the fact. And as you begin to uncover, you're going to find that you're exposing more of the evil and the evil that people doing. So they're going to get more aggressive against you. So I know you're going to be expecting the lash out and these kinds. I know you don't care because you know the Father stand by your side, but you take caution in what you're doing. That is why I'm saying you are blessed, and I admire what you're saying. What the caller said just now is also the fact. Indeed, Mark had really announced that in that form that it's quite a while now the girl has sent the message on his phone, but he didn't recognize it. But until he checked it through, then he discovered what's going on. And she had lost her brother. Really, indeed, is in an accident with the alleged businessman. It down the brother and the man was wrong, and the police, they collide. It's alleged in a way, and so they were not getting justice. As for now, what's going on in this country, the poor do not get justice, and it's amazing when you listen to the president. That's why you find some people talking about presidents and all this kind of thing, because he attracts those names indeed with his behavior and his personality. He is saying outside about the effective commitment promises that people must keep it. I really want to know how these people are feeling when they are going outside, or even in Guyana, they're making some announcement that is factual and it's what's supposed to really happen. The theory is lining up indeed, but where the practical is a mess, it's completely a failure. And so what I'm saying, he said, yeah, the commitment and the promises, yeah, you got to uphold them, you got to stick to them, but where the citizens got to understand, like as you said, Mr. Kadaki, you're totally right, as I said before. The citizens have the power in their hands, but if they are ignorant, lacking of knowledge, then they will not know how to utilize that power, and that's why enough time they are trusting and depending upon some leaders who are using it as an excuse and who are they are so trampling upon the people. And I want to make a call directly to Mr. Aubrey Norton. I am speaking to you directly, sir. You are doing a lot, you are doing good. But you have to become much more vibrant than what you are doing. You got to become much more aggressive for stand up in the righteousness and send them, let this government know that you're not going to be going in for stupidness. The people are going to stand before you, sir. They're going to stand in support of you. They are going to stand in support if you stand up. But if you do not stand up and give the urge and the encouragement, that's where the dumb courageousness is going. And for the teachers union, them, Mr. Mark Light and Mr. Coretta McDonald, with all due respect to y'all, sir, y'all got to make this thing clear that people can understand, the teachers them can understand what is going on and what is taking place, how they are willing to stand up against this nonsense. But then if they're not understanding, how can you get the unity? How would you get the strength? If people stand up, even if one don't want to support the other one, the one who stand up for righteousness, all the righteous-minded Guyanese is going to support. I am telling you without a doubt, there are people are paying and they are hurting in this nation. I have a child that going to Freeburg School. Freeburg School don't have no water. The system is done. If you see what the teachers them got to go to and use for their washroom, it's a disgrace. And how she tired young and saying these dances and coming out about a 4,000. Is it a 4? They're talking right in the farm for 4,000, yes. But that 4,000 at the back of it should go with US dollar. It should be 4,000 US dollar per term or something like that you're talking about. Now you're talking about Guyana dollars for per child and expect that these things will last. Then you put in such a burden upon the teachers them that they got to go and help to clean school, they got to help sanitize. They're going to teach. The word is teach. Oh my God. Comment Minister, do you understand the meaning of the word teach or teaching? You are teaching. The teachers, they go to teach the student. And if they cannot teach the student, if they are frustrated and they are depressed, what kind of student do you think we will get in this country? What our future will come out to be? What our future will become? And this is why I'm saying the people, they are willing to stand up. But where there's no leader, it's like a ship without a rudder. So who will really support base there? And if the opposition, they are expected to stand up and represent the just cause, and they're going to join the lot. How many people know that the strength belongs to them? They are ignorant in certain ways. So they are looking for direction. And that's why the PP government now is seducing minds and heart and these wicked leaders them are talking about. Those who are wicked, who are trying to run behind money. The love of money and the craving for money. Listen clearly what I'm saying. Because the idea here in boldness and misinterpreting these nonsense. The word of God declared the love and the craving for money is the root of all evil. It never said money is the root of all evil. It's saying the love and the craving for it. So Guyanese understand what is going on. And if you do not, let me tell you Guyanese, if y'all don't stand up for righteousness, y'all going to fall for wickedness. And that is what's going on in the nation. The PPP government, they're fully aware of what they are doing. How Mr. Jagdio can do something like that, come out and announce to the whole nation about the money, the $200 billion plus $1 billion with the IT, and then come out now. When you even got the guts to say apologize, so we do. And now they're blaming, they're shuffling blame. They're always in collusion with the plot. It's a plot of evil to extract and to put the people them under sufferation in this nation. And I am talking again directly to the Indian population mostly. If y'all don't stop supporting this PPP government, what y'all think are going to happen to black and y'all own self? It is not a racial thing. It's a wicked exploitation taking place. And as I said before, I'm going to say it again. There are a particular a particular kind of religion that is leading this thing. I discover it and find out it's not all the Indian, but the Indian, they are getting used and the racialness and the black people, please, because suicide is stepping over to the black community because they're frustrated and depressed. However, Mr. Kadaki, have a blessed day. Once again, have your program, have a blessed day, and God bless this nation. We are going to get there if we stay in righteousness. So all the righteous mind leaders, stand up and lead that the people could get example and support to follow. Have a blessed day, Guyana. We're going to get there by the grace of God if we stand up and we work towards righteousness. Have a blessed day once again, Mr. Kadaki, and to your program. God bless you.
Thank you, Carlo. Yeah, so you know, hearing of this matter of the alleged motor vehicle and murder accident, whatever, death of the young lady's brother and the police covering up. It's nothing new, eh? It's nothing new. Because like we usually say in this society, money works, money talks, and bullshit walks. And the ordinary working people in this country are seen as bullshit, as if they have no voice. And sometimes, like I say, our leaders and ourselves allow it to appear as though we have no voice. This is not the first time I'm hearing of an accident involving a relative or a member of the Mohammed's clan, where money perhaps had its way. I remember, about 2 years, 3 years at most, a woman and her husband, or I think, were killed on Mandela, back road, somewhere around Culture Center, somewhere in the back road area there. It was alleged that the vehicle belonged to the Mohammeds, and the driver wasn't who they said the driver was, etc., etc. I know a promise was made to that family. The children were to be taken care of financially, and a home was supposed to be constructed for them, and so on. Anybody knows that story? Can anybody tell me whether the promise was kept? I'd like to know that too. I hope it's not the same story, because I'm hearing brother as against mother and so on, so I assume it might be a different story. And I'm hearing Muhammad as against a relative of Muhammad's, right? So if that's a trend in this society, then poor people's lives are at risk. Anybody with money could knock it down and pay for you. Reminds me that Freddie Kessoon had said years ago, one of the Ramatars had struck down his nephew, broke the guy's leg and refused to compensate. I wonder if Freddie forgave the PPP for that. The lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call. And as I was talking about money, earlier this morning I said something about money and I laughed. I can't remember the exact thing about money I was saying. But I laugh because the way some people look at money, what's wrong with this call? You keep calling and hanging up the phone. I can't help you. Some people say even prayers can't help you sometimes. Yes. What was I saying? Oh, I know what I was saying about money. Alright, so let me repeat. This Surge Bally story because I think it seems as though I got some facts mixed up. Yeah, facts, but they were mixed up. Surge Bally is taking the government to court, and his lawyers are Christopher Ram and Christopher Thompson. Right? So if I said Christopher Ram is taking Surge Bally to court, I must have been saying or intended to say on behalf of Surge Bally, right? So Surge Bally is suing the government for compensation for his 2 acres of land which they acquired for the landing of the gas to Shore pipeline. Christopher Ram is a lawyer along with Christopher Thompson. Good? Right. So, as I keep saying, money matters. A lot of people say they love money, but most of us love what money can do or what money causes to happen. Call your life, good morning. Caller, your life, good morning. This caller seems to be having problems this morning. Caller, you are live, good morning. Caller? Can't have a caller hold up the line like that. Good. Yeah, somebody's mentioning that Ashley had struck somebody. Yeah, I think Ashley was pissing drunk, as we like to say, when that accident happened. I wonder what happened then. It's okay for the rich to injure people with their vehicles and pay a price, right? Compensation, they call it. But when the poor hit somebody with a vehicle and they can't afford to pay compensation, what they gotta do? You know, like rape, while the private parties can say we will settle, the police can proceed to charge because laws have been broken, but not in this country. Call it live, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Guys, they're right to say what, because there was some other person, a rich one, I think a minister or somebody, who committed a murder with the vehicle, and nothing was being done to the person because of their political standards and financial wealth. And to the girl who finally committed suicide, depression is really on the up and up, because I could tell you I'm living with a depressed person and I try my best. It is when we meet Kadaki, I'll tell you I'm private, but I know that's a state of depression and it is escalating more and more. And when you see with many of the young people, they are online in a certain group, and this group is a group that keeps them fully depressed with the type of talks they would do as pet talks to these persons who are following them. Because I would hear the imparting of knowledge to keep these people under this depressed. Yeah. So it is something going on, Kadaki. Anyway, you talk about the thing for the money. See, once you got money, you will be able to go ahead and action the install regime because you need money. I know back in the day with all the called Barnum a dictator. When Barnum built roads, only the highway, I didn't think he had to pay anybody money because there was a jungle undeveloped. Nobody really knew anything about the jungle. And he cut the highway, the Linden Suicide Highway. but the highways that he cut in the populated places, he repaid those persons and he offered them land. He didn't bulldoze nobody's house. He lifted houses that could have been lifted. I saw houses moving on wheels, rollers, to go to the new spot. He didn't destroy them with bulldozers like what the regime doing now, and refused to give people compensation. And that is what they're doing. They're giving you compensation, and when they move from your place, you cannot do anything in your arm. You can't do anything with what is left of you. Now coming back to people talking about leaders and leaders and leaders. I did not see Aubrey Norton at none of these crickets, you know. You saw cricket park? These people have a mindset that to go out and protest or to do anything that could enhance them, all we need is leader to be there. But when you got things like to go and party, to go here, to go there, they don't want the leader. Why they don't follow? The leader would go out on the picket line. He would go to pickets when he can get the time. Why they don't go out there? But they ain't gonna go there. They always want the leader. You got to understand. I never hear of an American president or those presidents world at large would be out on every picketing exercise. They have time when they're campaigning, you see them at a mass rally and that is it. But the people on the ground are the people who do all the marches the days ago. But Guyana is the other way around. Once is something to pull them out of the doldrums that we are now in. They want the leader. But to go and party, tell me want leader. And when it comes to the money that the While is offering the people, she don't have respect for them, one, and she don't have love for children. Because if she had respect for the teachers and love for the children, she would not have done, she would not do what she's doing. She would have wanted everybody child to be in a good footing financially, like what President Granger said. That's why when one of our own, the man, they jump up and cuss out when she was forcing children to take the COVID-19 poison in the system. He was right. And plenty people, they vexed the man. But the man saw her in her true colors and he called her out for what she was doing. And we have got to look and see all that they're doing and see if it is good for our gains, whatever they're doing. Now coming back to the gold declaration, they wouldn't declare how much gold. They no matter how much you make, they wouldn't declare how much. Because the gold got to siphon off and pass through the underground for they to get more money and become richer. Just like how Exxon got a big money that is spending on production and wouldn't be able to pay any money. Is everybody got the type of economical sense. No matter how a person may look like, if the car read and write, they got money. I know many Indians, the people come to read and write, see the name, they eat it. But when it comes to counting money, they know the good. They know good money business. So once they are there with money, and the main thing for them, they all need to be rich people. They all need to be rich. And they don't care what skullduggery they got to do. They want to be rich. And for you out there, you African people, y'all tried. You know, long ago, we used to go to church. We used to believe that we shall overcome. And when something like suicide hits a man, it do hit a man, because it passed my mind. Because when I had a girl lock up the other day, And I look around, I saw where people that commit suicide. My boots, I had it inlays good. And I said, Rhonda, don't lose these boots. You don't know what could happen to you. And I sat in the cell for over 3 hours. 3 hours. And when you're at points, Kadaki, and people out there, and you lose sight of who you really are, anything in a twinkling in of an eye, bam, and you're gone. So we have got to fight suicide with all that we have. We got to fight it. And don't let it cross our minds to become a statistic and to join the band that suicide. Because when you gone, you might leave your family. Now look, 15 years, that girl is left unprotected. We do not know what will be the end of that girl. We don't know what's going to be the end. But to her relatives, I extend my profound sympathy, and I pray that the daughter has the strength, and there must be people to talk with the daughter so that she must not walk in the footsteps of her mother. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your call, Rhonda. Yeah, the lines remain open. It is now 29 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. You're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. I'm your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. Let's take a little time and pay some bills. How about that? Yeah, pay bills nowadays, you know. Call all the line. Call all the line.
It's soiree. Remember to tell us our vibes. Making way up the Burbies for the season.
Hey, friends and family. The People's Economic Development Society presents a bus ride. A ride from Mocha to Belgium on September 30th. Departure time from Mocha is 6 a.m. Farmers and entrepreneurs will interact. Market day exposition, domino competition, raffle drawing. Be part of it all. Contact us on 678-1269 or 646-4490, 686-9899. Let's take a bus ride from Mocha to Belgium. Tickets cost only $5,000. Be part of the attractions and activities, market day, domino competition, raffle drawing, and lots of fun. It's the People's Economic Development Society bus ride on September 30th, 2023. Come, let's go! Call A Live, good morning.
Good morning, Brother Kadaki. Good morning to all your viewers and listeners. First of all, I would like to extend my condolences to the family of the now deceased pharmacist. There's such a terrible story, and I pray that the young one that she left will be taken care of. The 15-year-old. That's a hard story. I started with that because I'd like to mention about this dude Azruddin Mohammed. You know, it seems to me, I hope this guy is taking notice at what happened to his predecessor, namely Roger Khan. And I said his predecessor because he has taken up everything that this guy's left out, that he used to be doing. He's leading a bunch of criminals, many Africans, many black guys. They're doing all sorts of things and getting away with it in this country here. Now he's on investigation for drugs importation, this kind of stuff by the U.S. government. And he's been accused for most of the same things that his predecessor was accused for and went to prison for. So I hope he's taking heed. And I hope he realizes that the long arm of the law always catches up with them. When I say the long arm of the law, I'm not talking about Guyana's law, I'm talking about the U.S. law, because they don't forget you at all. So I think I hope that he's taking notice, because his predecessor did all these same things, and again I'm saying his predecessor because he's doing everything that the guy did before. They even got the same girl, you know. So time will tell with him, with all the nastiness he's doing. Thank you.
Thank you. This caller has made some, what I want to call serious allegations. I hope at some time we will be able to see the evidence to suggest all of these things. That Azudin is walking in the footsteps of Roger Khan, so much so that they have the same girl or had the same girl. This caller has to be in the know to make such bold declarations. Hope you could share some of the evidence with me, partner. Otherwise, they are mere allegations, right? Good. The lines we made home 6225933 is the number to call. But I usually say Guyana is such a small society that everywhere you think you got your best kept secret covered down by a goobie, somebody done peep your card. Alright? Somebody done peep your card. So if you want to stay safe, you got to stay clean. That's how I see it. Call A Live. Yes, call A Live.
Good morning. Yes, good morning, Dr. Kidati. I support 100% for.
Call on the line. I'm not getting your volume clearly. Call and hold, please. We shall have a grand time all night tonight. All night tonight. All night tomorrow night. Morning, neighbor, morning. Hey, welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. It is now 7 hours. 38. I'm not late. I'm deliberate. On Thursday, the 21st day of September in the year 2023. Welcome to the program. How y'all been? How y'all passed y'all yesterday? Nobody y'all miss me. Nobody y'all miss me. Some of y'all can't pelt, you know. Y'all on bend, so y'all keep missing. This thing working, man? Wow. The heat is on. Yes, how bad y'all miss me, man? Well, I said yesterday I had some business to take care of, so I couldn't be on the program. For that, I apologize again. A lot of people were calling me in the course of the day to find out, Mr. Amsterdam, you're not on. And then to add insult to injury, Paul still wasn't on yesterday. So y'all had a good bout of starvation. Absence make the heart fond, is that what they say? It's good sometimes to miss your favorite people and so on, to miss the people you like to see every morning and so. Then you just realize how much value they really have in your life. Yeah, so sometimes missing people is a good thing. But don't let it go absent for too long, because by the time you catch yourself, you might be ghosted. How was your yesterday? How you passed yesterday? You made some money? Obviously, if you're employed in the public service, you would make money. Is that enough? Have you made enough money? Have you utilized your skill outside of your formal employment to make some extra money? Have you done that? If not, then you're wasting your talent. You gotta use the talent to make money. If you got talent, use it. Good? Some people believe that they gotta get a whole lot of talent to make money. You only need one talent. What you need is dedication, attitude, right? Your attitude determines your aptitude. That is, I don't care how you're bright, you know. If you don't have the right attitude to what you're doing, the right approach to what you're doing, you don't have the dedication, you don't have the discipline, it's likely that you're not going to get to the highest possible height you can. So sometimes we need to step back and we need to adjust our attitudes. And talking about that, I'm reminded that in our last program, or towards the end of the last program, somebody mentioned something about the attitude of black contractors. Was that it? And I said maybe we'll talk about that sometime. Good, Audrey. I like when y'all miss me. Hey, it means I got relevance. Right. Yeah, sometimes we have to address the attitude of our own people just as how we address the attitude of other people to us, we have to address the attitude of our own people to us. And ever so often I sit back and I say, you know, there's a lot that is lacking. There's a whole lot that is lacking in okay, Carlin. In our attitudes to ourselves. Ever so often, and I experience it, I'm talking from experience to a large extent. To the sister in North Randville that I visited with a contractor to measure up your fence and so on, I apologize. The man still supposed to bring the estimate. Right? That is a good example of attitude. We don't have that sense of respect and dedication and commitment in many instances to ourselves. Right, to ourselves. And we have to really address that. Parents, family members have to sit and help the people around them, the people in the home, their family members, to understand that the thing is not just a hustle. The thing is more than a hustle. The thing is building a clientele through reliability, through trust, through dedication. It's a relationship that you're building. When somebody comes to you and says that why you build a cupboard, it's not just the cupboard they want. To a large extent, they want a relationship with you. Because a cupboard is not the only thing that goes into a home. It might be a cupboard they need now. But then next month they may need a bed. And the other month they may need a vanity, a breakfast table, a television stand. The next month they might know a friend who needs a cupboard. Somebody might come into the home and see the cupboard and like it. And so you get a recommendation. But our tradesmen and women, I haven't dealt with a lot of women in the trade, but our tradesmen in particular are seeing this thing like a hustle. I catch it today. Yeah, why you do this cupboard for me? How much it gonna cost? 500,000. And when you step across the border and you go check with the other people, they will tell you that they will do the same cupboard for 200 or 300,000. And you ask yourself, what was the difference? Is the same design? Is the same dimensions? Is the same wood? Is the same everything you are using? Why you want 500 and they're going to take 3 or 350? And so since most people look at affordability, the money gets removed from the community and gone over to the next side. Because if I could save $1 in this hard guava season, it's likely that I will try to save it. And so just as how you might have gotten a recommendation for the cupboard, somebody comes to the home and they see the cupboard, hey, a nice cupboard, who built it for you? Them other people build it for me. They say they're going to take $350. I've been to the one on Company Road and tell me 500. $500 is a whole 150 more. Y'all they could buy a bed for me. And so the community is hemorrhaging. We're losing money in the community. Not because people are not willing to spend money, but because the attitude of people in the communities, our own people, is lacking. We have to help our people to understand, listen, when you're working for your own people, it's not state funding. So if you will build a bridge to the government for $5 million, the same bridge in your community for a private resident can cost $5 million. Government pays premium price. You get the chance to charge government premium. I say that. I know that. And so our tradesmen, our business people have to recognize the difference between what is state funding and what is private capital. And recognize that the prices must vary, the attitudes must vary. Taking into consideration the different situations. But some contractors in the communities know or they have done work for the government and they get to charge the government a whole set of money. And then they come to the same attitude to the community and charging people a whole set of money. And so people can't afford, first and foremost, people can't afford to hire them. And secondly, people can't afford to do the projects that they would like to do because of the cost that they're putting to it. And then the other people are coming and giving you offers to do the same kind of work for 3/4 of the money. And you take it and you give it to them and you ain't got loyalty to your community. You ain't got loyalty to your people. But it's not loyalty you ain't got. As the answer is saying, is economics. You gotta get a bang for your buck. Sometimes I'm willing to give you the job, but I can't meet your price. And so when the other people are getting 3 and 4 jobs a month, we are in our community struggling to get 1 job. And we ball it. But we don't recognize that if we were to reduce our prices, we might be able to get 3 and 4 jobs too. Try negotiating with some of us. The arrogance. The aggression. The bad name. The one Kiraki. The man cheap. I usually tell people the challenge I get with doing things in Buxton. As soon as I call somebody in Buxton to do something for me, they see a payday. Hear the attitude. First thing when they call the price and I think I'm overcharged, I say, man, what's wrong with you? And they're not saying, why can I keep what's wrong with you? You got it, you know. We just got to go out so far, you got it. So the attitude in our community is, those who got it, we must take it from, we must take all of it. When you don't take all of it from them, what you going to get in the future? What will you get in the future? if they allow you to take all of it, and they are left without. Especially that many of us are not good managers of what we make. Huh? We have to address that attitude in our community. I'm going to share some experiences with you. I ain't calling name. Who don't know? That's when they felt brick in style. They hack the tallow. They're not. It's more than 2 years now. Or approaching 2 years now. Since I made an agreement with a man in this community to do some cupboards to me. It took forever to it took forever for him to get the cupboards done. And I'm talking about the structure of the cupboards, because they came without doors and drawers. Right? So maybe the man was in no drawers person that Trinidad Rio sang about. No drawers. The cupboards came without doors and drawers. Only a section of the cupboards came. The fitting of the cupboard was reversed. The cupboard does not fit right. I said before, only a section came. So here is this man who got a section of my cupboards outstanding. No doors, no drawers. And even the section that came is not fitting right. This same man I recommended years ago, because I like to see business come to my community. I care. Well, don't let me say I don't care. Even if I hear you got a bad repetition, I try to work with you. I try to reason with you so that you can see, you know, that you're doing yourself harm, and I give you a fair chance. I recommended this man to build a door for a friend of mine. He gave the individual a date by which the door will be completed. It completed 1 week later. When it delivered improperly completed. With it, I think, stain on the glass and all kinds of things. Paint on the glass and all kinds of things. Within 1 week, the door started crumbling. But when you go to the other people and you carry your work, this same man will tell you, one boy, or you moving, sir? You're a village man. But the other people give you respect. The other day I hire an next one to do. I know why I'm sharing these experiences, because I'm sure these are experiences you're having too. And so you can identify with them, and we will agree that we have to talk so that our people understand that they have the wrong approaches. I got the next one to do some work for me, start the work. He said, watch, I ain't gonna work today and tomorrow, guy, and finish out something for somebody at X place. So then tomorrow I tell this man I got event X date. Today the man in return to complete the work. I have to be doing my own work because I am with the stress. I mean, it will take more time. It will take me away from things that I rather be doing and so on. But I have to be doing my own work. And not for the wanting of money. Because from the time I said the work, and we agreed that he going to do the work, he said, give me so much in advance and you got your money in advance. I see somebody say, many of our contractors, our tradesmen are taking your advances. And then they give you a royal run around. According to the last one, he said, what are you trying for fitting everybody? I try to fit in everybody. He's a good, skilled man. He is good. He does nice work and so on. So a lot of people want him to work. A lot of people want him to do their work. But that doesn't mean that you operate without principle, because it is only going to be your undoing. Listen, I know, I understand you want me to think, but I'm doing John's work right now. If you could wait for 2 mornings, I'm going to come to you next. And that principle. But when you do, you take John, Tom, Dick, Harry, and John work. You do a part for Tom, you do a Tom part for Dick, you got a part for Harry. Nobody's work gets completed in a timely manner. All of them become displeased, and all of them start saying that you're unreliable. Eventually, nobody will come to you. Right? Eventually, nobody will come to you. And then you will really find it hard. You might not be able to put food on the table for your family. And so we have to sit our relatives and friends down and let them understand that in business is principle, regardless of what business you're doing. But we're addressing our contractors, our skilled people this morning. That's not the way to do business, friend. Brother, sister, auntie, cousin. Business is done on the basis of respect, reliability, trust. I must know if I put my money in your hand as an advance to get the work done, you will get the work done. I ain't gonna run behind you. But a lot of these guys, this is what they do. When you give them your money to start your work, they already take somebody money previously and they bend it up, you know. And so your money comes in to continue that person's work. And when that person pays, then they come back to your work. And it's a Ponzi scheme. We have to let our youngsters, our tradesmen, husbands, wives, everybody else understand. Hey, that's not how business is done. Principles. You must be a principled person. I think during the month of August, I went to one of the, what do you call them, cosmetologists, I think, in the village. You're looking for somebody who can do this particular thing well, and everybody recommended this person. So I went to that person and I said, listen, somebody wants this service done. A young lady said, when you want it done? Today. No, sorry, I can't do it today. If you had come yesterday or so, I might have been able to do it, but today I'm booked. I got people who have appointments. I say, man, that's just me. Say, man, push back one of them now. It's a critical situation. She said, no, I can't do that. And I chuckle and I say, I said, thank you. You're a principled person. A person like that can get my business off there. But some people that don't tell themselves, hey, I don't got she tied down, you know. I'm going to tell she come 2 hours later. And I'm going to get her extra money from this. I'm going to get more money from this one today. That's not the way to do business. If you have reached your capacity, you have reached your capacity. If they value your service to that extent, they will wait. But if you try to fit in everybody, the possibility is you're going to lose everybody. And so we have to adjust that attitude. In terms of pricing, again, it's not only they treat you as if it's government funded. Part of the problem is a lot of our skilled men, tradesmen, left and they went to places like Trinidad and Barbados and so on work. And they made a lot of money over there. Because those countries pay better than Guyanese pay. the economy, the cost of living was doing better than Guyana at that time. But as things changed, a lot of these brothers especially came back home. And they have not really adjusted themselves to the Guyanese economy. What they have done is force the locals to adjust to the Trinidad and Barbadian economy. Because they say in Bajan, in Barbados we just get $200 a square foot to lay tile or to plaster wall and so on. And so they come right here and they calculate the equivalent and they say, well, it's so much you got paying Guyana. But the Guyanese economy is different. Wages and salaries are different. Affordability is different. We have a situation in this country right now, I've seen it, where in many instances the labor cost far exceeds the material cost. I don't know if that happens anywhere else around the world. But I know previously, labor costs used to be within 50 or 60% of your material cost. Now the labor cost is way past your material cost. At least when we deal with the brothers. And unless we examine the situation and we encourage a change in attitude and a change in approach, a lot of the work in our communities will either be left undone or will be given to other people from other communities. I don't forget when the coalition was in office, we were doing a project at the Friendship Primary School. Something we were doing. I think we were going to use it. Yes, we were going to use the Friendship Primary School as an afternoon lessons program, providing snack and so on. I think it was the First Ladies program. It was sanctioned by Sandra Granger. One of the first projects started under the coalition in terms of, I would say, village renewal, education renewal, started in Buxton with Sandra Granger signing on to that project. And so we agreed that as part of the contribution for using the school, we were going to provide them with paint. We were going to paint sections of the school and so on and so forth. And we got the materials. It was supposed to be self-help. And we self-help with a stipend, not a day pay. And we invited some youngsters and so on to come and assist and thing. I think the offer at the time was $4,000 to the day. And these folks were telling you, they can't work for $4,000 a day despite it's a self-help project. And I remember one of the representatives of the office of the president said, put me aside and say, Mr. Amsterdam, this is a frightening thing. This is a frightening thing. Your young men and women in the village are going to price themselves out of work because they're asking too much. And no doubt it is happening because when you pass around the street corners, you see a lot of the youngsters are there hanging out. And you ask why these folks are not working. Is it that they ain't got work in the community or they can't find work outside? It is simply that a lot of them say, me ain't gonna work for the money what people want to pay when the day done. Who, me? I can't work for $5,000 and $6,000 a day. I can't work for $7,000 a day. I can't work for $8,000 a day. But they stand on those corners. When you come in that and you finish working for $4,000 a day, they're gonna boom you 100. Right? They're going to bomb you 100. Well, I can tell you what not to do. It's up to you. If you're working hard for 4,000, they can't work for it, but they could boom you. Why you could give them? Why should you give it to them? They can call you all kinds of things, but tough love is love too, you know. Tough love is love too. And so sometimes we have to adapt that tough love attitude so that people can come to their senses. Let's talk with our people in our community. I don't know how we're going to do it, but let's start that conversation. Good. That's my encouragement this morning. Let's start that conversation and see where it leads. Because especially with construction boom in the society, no doubt there's construction boom in the society. Even though it's a small number of people who might be doing it or benefiting from it. If we don't have the right attitude, if our people don't have the right attitude, they'll just stand on the sideline and watch the money pass them. Right? My thing is, what I say, a fast cent is better than a quick dollar. What was it? A fast cent is better than a slow dollar. The time you will take to get one job that will pay you that exorbitant sum you're looking for, the other people don't do 4 jobs. Which allow them to earn that exorbitant sum and some extra. We got to keep that in mind. Here is where it is better than where it is. Or where it is, right? If you know somebody in your community offering you $10 to do a job, once they ain't exploiting you. Just as I'm saying you ought not to exploit them, they should not try to exploit your labor either. It's best you get to do a couple of those jobs than sit and wait for one big job which might never come. John Blackman has said they're taking everybody advancing and they're walking advances and they're walking alone. You know what I started doing recently to cut costs? Because you got work to do and you don't want to necessarily give it out to other people. I got certain people I hire them and say, come do this work for me, I'm going to be a laborer. And be a laborer, I can work along with you. Some of them don't even want that. They're going to tell you all the reason why they can't work with you. And why they got to get their own laborer. Because part of the thing is, in their estimate, some of them might tell you $10,000 a day for the labor, but trying to fly in the wall, you're going to see the labor only getting 8. That is some people's business practice. We have to do better. Right? You have to do better. Otherwise, the other people will come and take all the jobs. And there's a history around this country, or a tradition if you call it that. A lot of places when outside contractors go, when they're leaving with somebody daughter. Or the name of somebody daughter. So allow them to come in and take your work. They're going to take your people too. Good? Alright. It's 10 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. I just want to touch on Satira Gyal. Y'all know Satira Gyal is one of my favorite gunstug in the government. Not because she's pretty looking and all of that, but because I have an interest in education. So the teachers union have encouraged the teachers to start taking certain kinds of industrial actions. Sick out. Take the sick days. Take the vacation days. You know, maybe take some UP and so on and so forth. And Satira Gyal has started dreading the possibility of a full-fledged strike. And so she is making the public appeal. Teachers must take into mind other considerations. Teachers must give consideration to, number one, a lot of learning hours were lost during the period of COVID. And so if you strike now, you're going to create more learning loss. And so if you love children and so on, and you love your profession and so on, you must consider that and don't go on strike. Try to resolve the issues with the government. The government has the authority and the wherewithal to resolve the issues. The government holding the handle. The teachers and teachers union holding the blade. So anybody who should be appealing to anybody is the teachers union, and teachers should be appealing to the government to grow up, behave like adults, behave like people who have the interest of the children at heart, and resolve this wages and salaries dispute that has been going on for too long. But here is this Dunstug, satiric girl, telling the teachers opposite. Oh my, y'all be considerate. Them children gonna lose out. Satiric girl, Eureka. Satiric girl, free advice. You have what it takes to prevent teachers striking and to prevent a learning loss. Your government has what it takes. You're in control of the public purse. You guys are in control of the public purse. And so you don't want teachers to strike, you don't want learning loss to take place. Sit down with the teachers and their representative and fix it now. Stop doing band-aids. Stop giving $4,000 a student for classroom preparation. That doesn't impact the teacher's pocket. It impacts the classroom. The teachers are taking actions because the decisions that you guys have to make to impact their pocket are decisions that you're not making and making fast enough. So don't tell people that, but the government is responding, we give them $4,000 per student. That is to impact the classroom and the learners, because it's for teaching aids and toiletries and janitorial supplies. That does not impact the teacher's pocket. The teachers want a positive impact on their pockets. And Satire Girl and the PPP government got the resources to impact the teacher's pocket. So y'all don't want strike, y'all don't want learner loss, do the right thing. Why is it that the public servants, black people especially, because they make up the majority of the public servants and majority of the teachers, why do we have to always be the considerate set? Why we gotta always consider the comfort and the utility of others and leave ourselves undone? To prove what? That we're better human beings? So, Dunsin Priya, sit down with your colleagues, your cabinet colleagues, and convince them that it's not the teachers that gotta be considerate, it's them. Just as how they could be considerate for sugar workers that die in the industry, that black hole. They must be considerate for the teachers and nurses and other public servants. Don't appeal to the teachers, Satire Girl. Appeal to your colleagues in Parliament to do the right thing. Teachers, stand your ground. I would welcome the day I see that full-fledged strike. In the meantime, if all you could do is sick out and low productivity and so on, by all means. By all means. But y'all don't bow to the crocodile tears and the the pity poor boy talk up to you talking. That makes sense. They're sitting down in the old bakery, handing out crumbs to teachers and telling teachers is they gotta be considerate. It don't make sense. That don't make sense. Just like she mathsing, she reasoning. I hope Coretta and the others gonna continue to hold out and take this strong line for once. Always supporting y'all. I'm gonna give people the jacket when it's due. Please and thanks, prayer. You and your cabinet colleagues could fix this situation. And the teachers should continue to up the ante. Every week they should do something a little more to ensure that less productivity takes place. So y'all recognize that they ain't gonna stick for the nonsense. Right? Everybody calling me, but I ain't open the lines yet. Y'all didn't want to hear everything that I got to say. Alright. That's another form of indiscipline. People want to control the program from outside the studio. Call A Live, good morning.
Yeah, blessed good morning to you, Mr. Kadaki, and welcome back once again. I know you went off the airwave yesterday, so I'm saying welcome back. God bless you. God bless your program. And you know, you got me laughing because, Mr. Kadaki, I tell you already, and I tell you again, you makes my day. That's why after devotion, many times I try to get to air your program, with your program saying, and with your topic or what you're based upon. Because it's an upliftment of the spirit, it's an upliftment of the mind, it's an upliftment of the soul in general. And I'm telling you, a program like these help eradicate stress from a lot of people because it gives you a little hope, it gives you a little vision, you know. That's why I keep saying your program is a blessing. However, Mr. Kadaki, I am telling you again, my brother, you're going to raise, now you're done raise a set of answers, and all over the country and around you're raising the answers. You know why? Because your words, them are convicting the wicked and the evildoers. Because exactly, I am a parent, and I am saying, I want to say directly to Chitira girl, I am saying to you, Mrs. Minister, I am saying to you, I know the teachers, them have the interest of citizens at heart. More than 99% of teachers have the interest of the children them at heart more than you and your government. The reason why I'm saying this, I go to several schools, and when you go, you see the condition where the teachers them have to work under. You know, none other minister will never do that in your ministry. Y'all will never attempt it, and that's why I'm saying that is wickedness and that is evilness. I go to what is the school name? Freeburg, and I see what these teachers, the condition they're working under. No water is flowing at that school. The toilet facility, them what is going on is amazing. I want to know how these teachers could stomach these things, and then when they go home, they got to deal with their house, they got to deal with their own family. They're alone in stress. And Mr. Kadaki, what you were saying is totally right. They need to put psychologists to visit these schools, not only students, but teachers and all these kind of things in this nation. It's amazing to see what is going on. And then when they're calling upon the teachers them to take it light and consider the children. The teachers are considered and have considered children them all these years. And until now they're still considering them. Is the government of Guyana is not considering the children because she tired your yard got all the oil money. I am telling you, if Mr. Jagdeo only do what he said he would do when he was outside in the opposition. You know, we said Guyana got running at a loss with the oil fence and all. He said oil fence ain't going wrong, and with the oil company. And what he gonna do when he get in? He get in back there, and what have he done? You know, he said he representing ExxonMobil. Instead, he represent the citizen. All this nonsense could eradicate quick time, but brother. Guyanese, all this thing could done. But hear what they're saying. When the economy is on the improve, they're saying they gotta keep the nation in poverty because they gotta be dependent on the government. Why you must depend? Because if you get a payout or you get a little money, it could run the country into a bankrupt state. So they know damn well what they are doing because they tell themselves people gonna be a little more free to achieve this, and they're going to be dependent. They're going to be more independent thinking and focused. So this government know exactly what it is doing. Mr. Jagdi, all them know what they're doing. All this nonsense could be eradicated. Simple. The oil company got so much money could contribute to this nation. Teachers could get a reasonable pay that satisfies them. All the government agency them. All the public sector workers them. I am telling you, and this is where the nonsense is taking place. And Guyanese, I want y'all remember that. And the opposition should run with that. When Mr. Jagdio promised to put a ring fence around the oil company them, and he failed miserable. There was a part of the manifesto where they were saying he failed miserable. Now he said he's standing in defense of the nation. He's coming against the nation. That's why the trainer is suffering. That's why we as citizens suffering. That's why cost of living going up every day in the market. I send my son in the market, trust me. When he done buy and he come back with the little goods, where he can't do nothing, and then he lost some money by putting it in the pocket. You know how awful that was? And then the first time you give it as a little type-in, as a little handout. But now even every cent count, even though we start from cent in this country. So Mr. Kadaki, they're right. And I go out of the Meadowbank Wharf to buy fish. I know what I does, Mr. Kadaki, say, avoid stress. Because enough of them just rob you with their measurements and these things. When you discover who rob you, you don't go back and buy from them. It's just like what you're saying, and you try to say, oh, what, this measurement, right? When you go home, it's a pong gun and all this kind of thing. They're exploiting all over because people trying to get the ends to meet. But they're exploiting the poor. It's just like what you were saying. I can give a little example before leaving the party. I personally do construction work. I did a work for a woman. She didn't have sufficient money, and I didn't look at money. I go with biblical principle, and I do the work to the glory of God. And that work there, when I done that, you know how much other work I get from it? Every was a fence work. Everybody is who do this fence, who do this, and the woman give them the phone number. People call me this, so I get enough more job out of it. Like what you saying with the man in your cupboard. Guyanese, let me tell you, an entrepreneur, let me tell you, the best advertisement that they have is your customer. And now you put it on a rave and you say, but your customer, when you treat them good, they always go and tell others and bring others and bring others. However, Mr. Kadaki, congratulations for your topic. Once again, God bless you. God bless your program. And you are a blessing to this nation. Don't stop, my brother. Continue. But we still want to hear if you're going right. And so call upon all the rest of Guyanese who's listening to your program to contribute in whatever way we can contribute. If Mr. Kadaki is going, and let me try for support him. He ain't asking for the help, but we can contribute and give the help. Have a blessed day, Mr. Kadaki. Once again, God bless you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you for your call. I don't know where all this tickle me, you know. Yes, last evening a Buxton called me. Somebody said this program is called Guyanese Morning Time. I must stop referencing Buxton. But I usually use Buxton as a point of reference because you can identify with the things I say about Buxton in many of your communities. A Buxtonian called me from Baghdad side too. He said, you been an embassy, boy? Call all the line, please. You been an embassy, boy? I said, what are you talking about? He said, me listen to your program and you're saying I got the this morning. You got some business to go look after and you talk about conference and things. So, me suspect you been an embassy. You been an embassy, you get through. It's the same thing that Scarlett trying to do to me, right? Well, yes, I went to the embassy yesterday. You know, I grew up in a time, call all the line, please. And many of you can identify with this. Going to the embassy is one of the best kept secrets in this whole country. I don't know about the world, but in the country. When you go into the embassy, when people go into the embassy, they don't tell nobody. I don't know why. Good, I don't know if they feel people going to blight them, people going to put a mouth on them, and all kind of thing. And do something to stop them from getting visas so they don't talk. Anyhow, I went to the embassy yesterday. One of the first laughs I had is, first thing I tell you something. People say when I got into the embassy, you don't late. I was late by 15 minutes. I was late by 15 minutes on my appointment. Good. And usually I try not to be late to go any place. But I was late yesterday morning by 15 minutes. And so I'm standing in the line and hear the security person telling, I don't know if it's an encounter she had with somebody, but she said, you don't need no garlic, you don't need no onion, you don't need no garlic, you don't need no blue, you don't need no salt. All of these things that Guyanese believe that cut and clear our crises, this security listing that you don't need. She said, oh, the guards, I got enough guards, and so on. So that tells a story about what Guyanese do when they go in search of a visa. They all elusive American visa. Good? That was my first laugh. Or my second, because I was late to hell. Anyways, I went in and I got approved. So it's approved that I will get a visa. I have to wait to collect it a couple of days, I was told. So I'm awaiting that instruction. And then I can definitively say, well, I'll be going to the conference or I will not be going to the conference. There's some other considerations, but the visa is integral because you can't buy a ticket without a visa. And so the conference is on the 27th. Unless I get the visa in time to travel for the 27th, travel to get there for the 27th and the 28th, then obviously I won't be able to go to the conference. But I'm just saying that to you. Good. So you know, yes, I got approved. I'm waiting to collect, and I will keep you posted. Now, as we're talking about me going to the conference, and I will be in Washington so long as I go to the conference. They say there's kill many boys with one stone. And so on the 29th, that's a Friday after the conference, we have planned for the Crave Cafe. Crave Cafe is located at 1200 East West Highway, Silver Spring, Maryland. Zip code 20910. Those of you in the US know what all of this means. At Crave Cafe, that's 1200 East West Highway, Silver Spring, Maryland. 20910 is the zip code. A meet and greet. Let's meet. It's intended for those of you who would like to support the WPA campaign fund, and those of you who want to support Kams TV. So we're inviting you over to that event on the 29th, Friday the 29th at Crave Cafe for a meet and greet, kind of sip and chat. Lots of refreshments will be on sale. You will have a well-stocked bar, and Kams TV t-shirt will be on sale also. Right? So come there on Friday the 29th, preparing to support the WPA campaign fund and the maintenance and upkeep expansion perhaps of Kams TV. Buy a Kams TV t-shirt, support the cause on the 29th. The action starts at 6 o'clock. Right? The action starts at 6. So start making plans to bring your crew down there and let's have a good time. I will tell you what is going to happen for New York once we know what we do. Good. Dr. Hines and I will be at the Crave Cafe because Dr. Hines also is scheduled to go down to the conference here. Carter, thank you for holding. You're live.
Yes, good morning, good morning. This is Flash Garden. Good morning to you and all my black brothers and sisters. Is there your technology person is there? Make sure you don't cut me off now. Now listen to me. Let me ask you a question, not personal question. Did you receive an invitation from Wickford Board? Because why me ask this question? Because when he was on Mr. David Hines program, he said, it's only people who get invitation will be inside there. Do you receive an invitation? Yes or no? No explanation. Just yes or no. Let me move on.
Yes, I received.
Thank you very much. Case closed. Because I'm saying that the first invitation supposed to give out is one for you. Because you know how to line up your duck. And you don't want people to go there and talk what the wicked government is doing to black people, but it's to show them the film, evidence on black and white. Said this is what's happening. And Mr. David, my leader, and Mr. Paul Slow. But I do hope all of you guys get an invitation because I will be on this program talking what you're doing is wrong. Let me move on this morning. I am so happy and proud to know and to say and happy that those who invite Mr. Abinathan to Canada, for him to have a chance to speak out to the Guyanese people, that young man stand up and announce that Mr. Abinathan, Flash Garden leader, I don't know for you guys, but I know that Mr. Abinathan is my leader, Flash Garden. Joined the PNC 1972 and still there with PNC. Never run away, never walk away, but he stayed there and continue to go through the struggle with black people in Guyana and all Guyanese, fighting for them. And today I'm still listening and hear my black brothers and sisters still saying, Abinathan is soft and Abinathan is not doing enough as a next leader. What you guys want Abinathan go outside there and kill, or go outside and announce that black people must go outside and kill Cooley, bundling their business? No, there's so much a opposition leader can do and say. It leads to the people them to take action against the wicked cabal government. It's them if they want have to do that work. That is what get Donald Trump in trouble. Because of his mouth and he talk wrong things. That's why he got to go to court and get enough charge. Move on, Flash Garden. Now, what the brother say? 1972 what Abinathan. You want let Mr. Rickford Berg know? Let them Mr. Brown know in England and Mark, who undermining the position and the work of Mr. Abinathan. I don't care if Flash Garden turn his own key. So we could talk, but I would not disrespect your show. If Mr. Rickford Berg truly loved the people them in Guyana and fight with them, he would have make way and use his power to let Mr. Abinathan sit down with the President of the United States, and he would walk with you because you good in line up duck and show them this is action, not only word and drink water and shake hand and say, oh, the meeting was a good meeting. No. You would have make way, but no. But you waiting for like if Mr. Abinathan lost election, lost the election for who they want for that. We must remember the opposition leader for Venezuela. Somebody make way for Ego and sit down with the president in America and lay out the problem of Venezuela. And he get to result. One result France going to talk about, they make Mr. Green to take so many thousands of Venezuela in Guyana. What will affect black people a couple more months and years to come. And when the government change, Biden is the embargo that the Venezuelan government could sell so many million barrels of oil for just take care of the people them. So Venezuela is not in no problem now. So Rickford Berg for Flash Garden, if we do that, then we said you're doing something for the black people them in Guyana. Don't take black people kindness for weakness. Don't take their problem and their trouble for establish your foundation. Make way for Abinathan meet the president of the United States and let Abinathan then I will say you're doing something good. Tomorrow why you buzz me because I want to talk something about this raping story. That part because my black sister still waiting for justice and the family for what that taxi driver did to, and nobody in going to that rescue. Flash God, I want to talk about that tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your call. All right, so yes, thank you for your call. I know a lot of you are expecting me to speak on the conference. I don't know whether or not, well, let me change that, what I was about to say. I don't know if I'm officially done to speak as a panelist, etc. at the conference. I have not been told such. So I might be at the conference as a silent observer, or I might participate from the floor. But so far I have not had that conversation with Rick Ford or anybody, any of the organizers to say, well, Mr. Amsterdam, we want you to be a part of this panel or that panel, or we have you done as part of this panel or that panel. But any which way, I'll be there. Something, I think I'm, anyhow, let me see what's happening. Caller, you live.
Good morning, Kadaki and listeners. Well, first of all, I must say that your absence yesterday was worth it, because we now know that you will be traveling. I trust God that you get your stuff so that you can be there in Washington. Let me tell you, we don't have to even be worried about you representing. We know you will represent. You have always done that, and you will continue to do so. So those persons in the diaspora, please go out there and back up your talk about support. Go out there and support Kams Tv and the WPA by extension. Now, I listened to you this morning. This is on another subject. I listened to you this morning, and your numerous experiences with contractors is shared by a lot of people. I have lost money and all of that because of the, unprofessionalism of our local contractors, as who would have been to Barbados or wherever. That's one side of the coin. The other side is that they developed the same nasty attitude as before they left. Now, a contractor working, at least I can speak for Barbados, because I was a cleaner on a construction site. So I know that when you finish the work, you don't drop the cement bag and the wood and all that. You clean. You do clean work. I find a lot of persons in Guyana don't do clean work. And I say that from experience. So it's not only their approach to pricing that has to be organized, but they also have to have a way in which they approach the whole thing in terms of cleanliness. I remember my son being deprived of his job because he took the time to, he took the time to cover the locks and stuff like that. And person felt he was taking up too much time, but that is what he did when he was in Barbados. So the psyche of some of the persons who want this job to be done has to change also, because they have to look at the fact that the person may have more professionalism than the ones that they're accustomed to. So I just thought I would mention that. As we all know, the prayer making sense. But you know, this is a nice stroke, because pay those teachers who are on sick leave, the people still have to be paid for vacation. Maybe that will teach us a lesson. What I would like to see happening is that all the people from the public sector do the same thing, and then they will all get some sense. Because I'm not forgetting that statement that, you know who President Sheikh hand made, and the facial expression of him when he spoke about considering revising the pay for public sector workers. I haven't forgotten that, and every time I think about it, I get very vexed. But good luck, Kadaki, with whatever you do. Bye.
Thank you for your call. You know, It's nice when we can share experiences, because I hope that people are not taking well, they should take it personal for their own personal of bringing an improvement and so on. But listen, there's so much like the sister saying there. When they finish working, you have to be the cleaner. You got to clean up after them. You might have laid your floor before and then you ask them to do some work on your water. So a whole set of cement left on the floor and turn hard. So when you're ready to tile or anything, it's additional work for the person who comes to tile. You might hire a man to do a floor and you see it in doing smooth enough and then you're gonna actually buy the flooring level thing. But this is not your final finish, you still got tile. Did I ask you to finish a floor for tiling, or did I ask you to do a floor for me? Right? These are all considerations our contractors must take, but like many of us know, a lot of these guys do work in such a way that you will have to call them back to do more work so they get more money for the same job. Not professional, not good, not encouraging among our people. Call A Live, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Kadaki, and congratulations. And because you went and got your thing, I will be going. Because I was afraid to go to get that piece of stuff that you think. No one did the absent anyway. Now I'd like to say thanks for what you did. And to the viewing public, they might want, they like to mind business. Yesterday, I was placed in a precarious position, a funny position. On Tuesday, I wanted some sweet cassava bread, the cream cheese, and I was in Georgetown. So I saw the girl at Big Market. Told her, saying, no, I need some of these things for tomorrow, which was Wednesday. She gave me a good thing. Yes, you're going to come and you're going to get it much. Anyway, Wednesday when I got there, she was unloading her merchandise. And to my horror, she had none of the stuff. She said, I didn't know it is serious. Anyway, go to Bounty or meet the lady. Well, I went to the lady. And the lady was like, well, the man of known Calypsonia and the thing, Bill Rogers. This lady had me doing it anyway. I decided on a sad note to return home, jump in the East Coast bus, because I got confirmation that I could get the stuff in the East Coast. Nobody could give me. So the last resort, I called out to you, Kadaki. You are able to give me direct. It's a call back. Call you back. You call me back. It's a Rwanda. Go to Victoria and you gave me the address and so. Now that is a need where we need small businesses to advertise their wares. It may cost you some money, but had it not been for Kadaki, I would not have known where to go and get this stuff. Now I could be a person who could advise people where to get the stuff for son. And in so doing, you're creating more business for something that may be walking off the map. Because in Guyana, so many things start off and then all of a sudden it is extinct. So thanks that I was even given a free quinches on the house after waiting. Job well done. Now Kadaki and to the entire world. I am looking at the textbooks. Social Studies Guyana, our country, our home. Level 5 to 6. I went to the home of a person and the children brought out things that was written in this textbook about the Africans in Guyana. Part of it, I even find in the page, said that all the Africans do is voodoo, obia, and baku, and a lot of other demeaning stuff. And I would like you to get a hold of this textbook, Kadaki, and go it through. And in certain parts of the books, tells you about the East Indians and their Christianity. There is a pie chart that shows mostly Hinduism. And in the smaller part, this pie chart is about 7/8 strictly deal with Hinduism and the other thing. And Christianity occupies the smallest fraction of that pie chart. And I know when you read that book, Kadaki, you will see, yes, Negroid, Mongol, one set of things. I can't think it anyway. That is what this part was telling you. But Negroids, yeah. So that is what is going on. You get a copy of the booklet, read it out. And anybody you could put it on Social Studies Guyana, our country, our home, 11/6, 5-6. Charlie M. Green, BD Massive Bachelor of Education, and Sheldon Emmanuel, Massive Bachelor BED. So that got to be Bachelor of Education. That is a book that was printed, Caribbean printers, and these things had to go. Special acknowledgement, Miss Karen Green, who has worked assiduously to type the manuscript for this revised edition.
When you carry the whole book on the program.
Huh?
You carry the whole book on the program, we get a message.
No, I'm reading the whole book. Thanks to Teddy Mohammed, who gave
When
us
do we
this
get a message?
Yeah. So, Kadaki, I want you to get this book and go through this book and let people see what is being printed and it is being taught to our children in schools. Because they say a child grows up and accept what they learn in school. And when you got children who will now enter in comprehension class with this type of history, what do you expect the African children to do with this type of information that is being handed down to them on a daily basis through the schools in Guyana? Things like this, I think we must be up and against it, because this is going to destroy. So no wonder, Kadaki, when you be called out and say, come out and stand up for a clean voters list, biometrics, with this that is being taught to children that ends up to the adults. Wonder, you only got the faithful few who will go out there and stand up and risk whatever it is to stand up for the rights of our Guyana, because this that is being circulated and it is spread widely. And many children will come home, oh, mommy, we learned this in school. Daddy, we learned this in school. And some of the parents who are in the realm of being destroyed by this wicked government will act up last. Now, in front had a lovely one-on-one talk with a white man. And I heard Sherrod abusing out the white man. Well, I don't like discussing other people's shows on your show, but I think Sherrod was completely out of place. Now, in front is all up. He don't care how he's being insulted, because the man said, I could imagine this the coughing and tapping of heels when he go to present himself. The white man was right. He go say he got to get back the money. The people know that the PPP are against Africans. So I don't know what in front made himself look like when he say he gave things and they got to be repaid. Since when you so love the Africans that you go down till there to talk a set of trash, and you got the Africans right there. You turn down the pipe, they can't get water for bed upstairs. You refuse to give them money, and you're going to the white man. The time in front take to stand up and say he bashing and quarreling, should have asked the white man at the forum, stop, take out from the books Bongo Kuli. And there is where the white man show in front that they do not really respect them. Because the man spoke to him in disgust, slapping the desk and going on. He showed them completely, I have no respect for you and your sort. The money there, the men must get the money. And let us behave. Akoli don't care what they got for do. Once is money, they will do all they could do, forget it. But I know, that white man, the man don't tell you, I go send one at the palace and give you. No, the boat will build in front bin the when the palace bin. And if you don't know something, shut your mouth. There are many times I go to places that I ain't get my act together, and I say get my act together. I ain't following because they're busy doing my own thing. I ain't following the train. I just sit down.
Check. Can you hear me good? Yeah, so we suffered a power outage. It's blackout. It's now 6 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. Maybe we can do a little bit in the dark. One has made some pertinent points, but like I usually say, I like to think outside of the box. If Onali is not the brightest light in the room, but did he make fair arguments yesterday for reparations? Were his responses adequate based on the question asked? I quite frankly believe that if Onali represented himself on reparations, at least in that discussion, y'all could fault me for it, but I think so. The thing with me is sometimes we have to know when to embrace what is good for us. If Onali and the PPP government may not be good for managing reparations money if we get it while they're in office. But would it be good that they're standing on the side of those of us who are fighting for reparations? I think so. You see, in certain fight, we need everybody on board. And so if the PPP is giving us tacit support in this fight, so be it. I appreciate the support. That's one aspect. The other aspect is, listen to what Onali said in his responses. There's a lengthier version of that interview which Yuan is talking about. I don't know if she saw the entire thing. But if you listen to his responses, it shows the duplicity of the PPP and the likes of Onali. Because while he is lambasting the Brits for their role in mistreating humanity and mistreating African Guyanese and so on, his government is guilty of the same thing down here. So it's two sides of the coin. One, I welcome the support. The other just shows who Onali and the Onali government really is. because they're duplicitous, right? Call A Live, good morning.
Morning. Firstly, you got we could pre-order t-shirts.
Yes, you can pre-order t-shirts. And it would be great if you pre-order, so we will know what numbers we're dealing with.
Good, thanks. On the boxer run, and you. That there, yesterday, Irfan is a very good listener. When I listen to Irfan's response to certain parts of the question, I'm hearing the echo of Museveni from Uganda and Paul Kagame from Rwanda. But there's nothing more than duplicitous, as you said, and hypocritical. I am not impressed. It coming out from the mouth of the wrong person. And number two, he's trying to be muscle like those people, but those two guys could speak and talk that because they're not only talkers, they are doers. They do. They don't do like what he and his people them do. One, he mentioned about the Haitian plight, and American the Haitian plight. Yes, and he added to the Haitian plight because if you want to put your money where your mouth is, lift that visa restriction for Haitians traveling to Guyana. The same way how you got everyone else running to Guyana willy-nilly, you don't want the black people running to Guyana like that. That is my take, and he's nothing more than hypocritical. He and them should not be representing us on reparation, and I don't care what. Them should be the voice for reparation. We don't want them. They feel our pain. They know nothing about us and the reparation. And the way they're continuing and the way they're pushing and running that country, soon time PPP gonna gotta pay black Guyanese to reparation. The way how they're running on. So that's my take.
Thank you for your call. Call A Live, good morning.
Hi. Morning to you and the entire listening public. I really like the subject that you mentioned this morning. I always make the point and argue. Our problem lies as a people among ourselves. And until we could address it, we don't know where we go. I must tell you thanks for starting the panel of it. And that's the way to go. Discuss our issues as a people. Like, for instance, the experience that you even speak about with the cupboards that you got and how long and etc. Brother, there's exactly, we got to get these things fixed. And, it comes through the generation gap. That's one. Secondly, Ali, I know you on the stage, but that's a sham because you promise the people them right here and get them 50% increase. Predominantly, who is a part of the police, soldier, teacher, and the public servant. After 2 years, you get them 5%. And you go on an international stage and recognize about we people you really care about we people. What's good morning, man? Let somebody else for me.
Thank you, call. Thank you for that call. I think I saw a voice note or two. Let me start looking for them. Call A Live, good morning.
Good morning, Brother Kadaki, and good morning to the listeners. Now, Brother Kadaki, you did raise some very pertinent issues,